So I'm going to,
That's perfect. Well,
okay, so those of you who have come on board this morning, we want to welcome you. Thank you so much for coming. I think you're all naturally on mute, which is fine. We're going to go through this presentation and we will have an opportunity to do some breakouts, some practices. And at the end, John, Roberta, and I, and Jody, I think will stay for a few minutes if you have a few questions that we have not been able to get to, because there are many, many of you this morning, probably over 100 of you who are out there looking for help. So this workshop is called Focused and Steady, Coping and Career Tips for Uncertain Times. And Lord knows they're uncertain for many of us and for different reasons. We appreciate your being here, and we appreciate the Jewish Council for the Aging and the Career Gateway program, which Jody Rosh heads up. And she's done a great job putting all this together. Good things for you all. So I want to introduce you real quickly to our facilitators this morning. I'm Barbara Beiser. I am now a leadership and transition coach. I do a lot of career coaching, and I volunteer for Jody's Career Gateway program and have done so for about the last 15 years. And so we put this together especially for those of you impacted by government layoffs this morning. And my co-facilitators are John Collins and Roberta Maselli, who I would like to give a chance to have a brief introduction right now, so you'll know who we are as we go through the program. Roberta, would you like to say a couple words about yourself? I think
Justin, can you please make sure that Roberta and John are both co-hosts?
I think you're on mute, Roberta.
Yeah, she said she can't unmute herself.
There we go.
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
All right.
You.
Thank you for unmuting me. All right. And thank you, Barbara. Yes, I am Roberta Maselli. I'm delighted to be here. I am an executive leadership coach and facilitator, and I love helping clients and groups find out how to lean into their strengths.
Great. Thank you so much, Roberta. And John.
Good day, everyone. I'm John Collins. I'm also an executive leadership coach, and I am currently also a USAID employee who is in the process of being RIFT. And so also going through the career transition along many of you. And so I also am grateful for the opportunity to engage with all of you today as we look at moving forward through this process. Barbara, please, back over to you.
Yeah, great. Thanks, John. And I just want to mention that Roberta spent, I don't know, a couple of decades or more in the government. And so she has a great appreciation for where you're coming from and where you might go from here, as do we all. We're going to give you some tips that will help direct your energy toward your next step in your career. So we would like to know where you are right now. And Justin is going to put up a poll for us that will just, I think, have the words of overwhelmed, exhausted on the one hand. In the middle might be mixed emotions. There you go. And some of you may be hopeful or positive. We just kind of want to see how you feel right in the moment, so you can see how you as a group are doing. We really appreciate your honestly recording your emotional state, I guess I would call it. And many of you probably, most of you, almost half of you have mixed emotions. And almost a third of you feel overwhelmed and exhausted. And that is so understandable. Thank you for letting us know that. We hope that we can help you a little bit to have some perspective this morning. And those of you who are feeling hopeful and positive, we appreciate that too. And we're happy to see that. We know it can be hard to stay that way, to sustain that over time. So we'll also help you a little bit with how to do that. So thank you so much for giving us that little indicator. And now you can see kind of where you fall on that on that curve. Okay, I'm going to end that poll, and we shared the results, so we're going to take that down. So let's see, let me see if yeah, there we go. Okay. So now, John, would you like to go through the agenda for us, please?
Thanks, Barbara, and thank you for sharing and letting us know where you're at as we enter this the next 90 minutes together. And today we really want to focus on how to help you as you're moving through your career transition. And we really want to focus on how to step in, how to focus in on your resilience, how to ensure that you have the right energy and space to really be able to move forward with confidence. And we then want to focus on how to step up. And as you're moving into this networking and into this space, how to develop your pitch and how to move forward with confidence as you're moving into maybe an unplanned and unexpected transition. And lastly, we really want to focus on really helping you to step out with confidence, how to help you to make a strong plan, and how to also really recognize that you're bringing a wealth of experience, skills, and achievements, and really help you to identify that as we think through how to really tailor that in terms of what we call a situation and action and results model. And so we'll be doing this through presentations, interactive breakouts, as well as your engagement. And so we look forward to really engaging with you as you step in, step up, and step out with us today. And Barbara, let me hand it back to you.
Thanks, John. Okay, so the first thing is to step in, and we always start with where we are as an individual, as a person, as a whole person. We want to focus on your resilience. We know from experience, our own, and we know from this, the population that has signed up for this, that most, if not all of you, are over 50. So we know that you already have built up quite a bit of resilience. So what I'd like you to do now for a moment is think of a time in the past when you got through a very tough situation. Just take a breath and take a moment to think that you've been through some tough times in the past, difficult, challenging. And the questions we'd like you to focus on are: what coping skills did you use to get through that? How do you manage to get through the tough times in your life? The second question is: how can that help you now? How could that coping skill come to mind and be available to you as you go through this process that you're in now? And what else might you do? So what other things might you do? We're asking you to remember that you all are already resilient, and to call to mind to make you more aware of what it is that actually makes you resilient. So Jody, can you put them into breakouts so that they can share with each other, not so much whatever the tough situation was, but what the coping skill is that you use, how that skill might help you now, and what else you might do. So we're going to put you in breakouts of 3s and just share with each other what your coping skill is, how it can help you now, and what else you could do. So Jody, she's got the helm here to break.
Okay, I am opening up the rooms. Please accept your requests for the breakout room. You will have 9 minutes in the breakout room. Is that correct?
Yes, that means about 3 minutes each. Make sure each of you gets a chance to talk. Give each other the opportunity to share the coping skills. You'll learn from each other with this. Thank you.
Okay, so I'm opening up. Okay.
All right, so accept your invitation to be in the breakout.
Okay. Okay. They're all. I've sent the requests. And it is now 10:41. You'll have 9. So at 10:50, I will close out the rooms. You do not need to return, and you will automatically be returned.
Thank you, Jody. That's perfect.
Not a problem. Okay. Stop the recording.
So
Okay. There you
Great.
go.
great.
They're all back.
So we can see the chat. Some of you, all of you can see the chat, I think. So let's see, meeting group chat. So I'm wondering how that conversation was, and if you would like, that it might help us see what were some of the coping skills that you thought you might use, or something different that you might use now. If you want to just put that in the chat, just very briefly, what coping skill did you recognize that you used in the past? Just put that in the chat if you would. Positive thinking, always good. One day at a time, classic. Not enough time. Focus on now, yes. Wellness, self-care, spending time with friends, past mentors, breathing and balance. Supporting with free resources. Yes, and there are many free resources out there now. Forward thinking, self-care, excellent. Exercise, yes. Calling a hotline. Yes, there are many hotlines that can help you in any kinds of situations. Humor, always good. If you can maintain your sense of humor, that's a big help. Recognizing what you can control, what's in your control. So focus your energies on that. Focus on contributing factors to the situation, filter out the noise. Yes, know what your priorities are. Journaling, friends, family, exercise, wine, love it. Okay, coaching youth hockey, love it. Your hobbies can be great distractors and great ways to energize and inspire yourself. And steps, getting your steps in, listening to audiobooks, jogging with your dog. You know, pets can be enormously stress reducing. Patting your pet. Mine is lying around here somewhere. Okay, so let's move on a little bit. This whole exercise was to remind you that you have many, many options and many skills that you've already learned, and an opportunity to remind you about that, refresh that for you. And now we're going to take a look at the next slide, which I'm going to turn over to Roberta to help us set up your pitch, develop your pitch. Roberta?
Thank you, Barbara. In this section, Step Up, we're going to give you a couple of tools that we believe will help set you up for success with your job search. And the first tool we're going to give you is a tool related to developing your pitch. And the most important thing about a pitch is that it is crisp and compelling. At this point in your career, you've had many, 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 many experiences. You have rich background, rich history. And the challenge for most of the clients that I work with is, how do you cull all of that experience down? How do you cull it down into something very succinct and crisp and clear? And why is that important in the first place? The biggest reason it's important is because it makes a great first impression. If you can come in strong and crisp and clear and focused. The second reason is it gives you the opportunity to pick and choose among all of your experience and choose exactly what you want to highlight. What skills, expertise, what experience in particular do you want to highlight when you're talking to an individual person. And then you can adapt it. You can use it at networking events. You can use it at conferences. You can use it during informational interviews. And a client of mine recently used her pitch with another parent at a soccer practice, and it ended up opening some doors for her. So it's a very effective, powerful tool that you have in your toolbox. So next slide, we'll start to talk about what makes a good pitch. First, it's short, no more than 30, 45 seconds at most. Secondly, it's personal. You customize it to fit your situation. So a lot of my clients have developed quite a few pitches that they have in their toolbox, and they pull the one out that they want to use for any given situation. The next is it's impactful. It tells a story. It has compelling data. And also it's from your heart. It allows you to have the person you're talking to see into who you are. I have a USAID client with whom I'm working right now, and she has had a lot of success with telling a story about how she used data to figure out the distribution problems with getting medicine to different sites. And it's really helped her showcase her problem-solving skills and also her analysis skills and her willingness to dig in and figure out what's not working. And finally, your pitch needs to be clear. You need to be confident. Again, being clear, being concise, and being proud will definitely help you help you craft a clear pitch. All right, so now let's give you a chance for a minute to think about your pitch. Each of you are amazingly unique individuals, and you have certain things that make you unique, that make you stand out from other people. So we're going to give you a little bit of time here in a minute for you to just spend a few minutes thinking about what makes you unique. And then in addition to that, what do you in particular want people to remember about you? What is your exceptional advantage, as Gretchen Rubin, the happier podcaster, would say? Okay, so now we're going to give you 2 minutes, and you are going to have the opportunity to just jot down some notes for yourself about in 2 categories. What makes you unique, and what do you want people to remember about you? And then after the 2 minutes, we'll have you share it in chat, and I'll let you know when the 2 minutes are up. So 2 minutes begins now. Okay, 2 minutes are up. And now what I'd like you to do is share in the chat only what you want people to remember about you. So let's see what you came up with.
Roberta, they won't be able to hear you in the breakout rooms because you're in the main room.
Oh, they're in breakout rooms?
Yeah, I thought you said to put them in breakout rooms.
Oh, whoops. Okay.
Okay. Should I return them? I'll return.
Yeah,
You want me to? Okay.
return them.
Okay. Okay. That's funny. Okay. I thought you.
No problem. No
Okay. Okay. They're all coming back.
Great.
I was suddenly surprised why there were so few participants. I was like, where did they all go? It was
Okay. I misunderstood you. I thought you were saying it was time for the breakout room. I'm so sorry.
No, not a problem. This is all about being resilient, right?
So they're all coming back.
Great.
Yes.
Somebody asked why they were placed in breakout rooms. You might want to address that, Miss Roberta.
Yes.
Yes.
Tell them we're sorry. I thought I could have sworn you were asking for them. My bad. My mistake.
Yeah.
But they're all coming back
Okay.
in. Yeah. So they've got their 16 more seconds. So they'll be coming back.
Okay.
Mhm. Not all of them were there though, however. So
Yeah,
some of them listened and they didn't go.
Yeah.
Which was fine. Now we'll have the rooms all ready for when we do go into breakout rooms.
So now some people are starting to put in the chat what they want to be.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Okay.
Okay, so welcome back, everyone. This is a live example of being resilient. So those of you that went into breakout rooms, great. Those of you that didn't, great. The intent was for you to have time to work on your own, and however you interpreted that is exactly the right way to have done it. And now what we'd love for you to do is to share in chat what you want people to remember about you. And so I'm seeing, okay, I'm seeing some questions about breakout rooms, and hopefully we've clarified that. Okay, remembered for being true, staying true and what they believe in, practicing gratitude for what's going well. Yeah, and if it was too fast, understand completely. You can certainly take as much time as you want with this after the workshop. Okay, remembered for taking people from optimal to phenomenal. Wow, impressive. Caring and kind person, that you help people, persistent, eager to try new things, technical competence, compassionate leadership, something positive, that you working in a team, that the person is kind, compassionate, and creative, down to earth and caring, personal, caring problem solver, kind-hearted, integrity, work ethic, and care about people. Wow, you guys knocked this out of the park. Multidimensional, capable, having grace under pressure, servant leadership, depth of real world life experience, time management. Okay, awesome. Really, really, really fabulous work and fabulous job spending some time thinking about what you want people to remember about you. Okay, so now we are going to build on that exercise, and we're going to move into the pitch process itself. And this is the second tool that we're going to provide for you today. And that is to give you some time to develop a pitch. And then this time for real to go into breakout rooms and to give you the opportunity to practice. And so the pitch process here that we've described for you helps you outline who you are, what you're interested in or looking to do, what is your background, and what makes you memorable. Those are some generic parts of pretty much any pitch that you want to give. And then if you happen to know the specific organization that you're going to go to, you can also add a little bit about what you know about the organization, and then you can also add what is your ask. So for today's purposes, we definitely want you to do what's above the line. And if you're already thinking about where you might present this pitch, you can certainly also include below the line. And so now we're going to give you an example. This is a pitch that I actually did. And I'm going to read it for you. And what I'd like you to do is pay attention to, is it short? Is it personal? Is it impactful? And is it confident? So this is a pitch that I did when I was interested in learning more about becoming a mediator. So, hi, Sarah. It's so nice to meet with you. My name is Roberta Maselli, and I'm interested in learning more about what mediators do. I have over 25 years experience in senior leadership roles, and I'm currently an executive leadership coach. And what I've discovered as I've been coaching is that I love helping individuals and teams grow and resolve conflict. So I read your article in your most recent newsletter about intergenerational conflict, and it really piqued my curiosity. And thank you again for meeting with me. I'd love for you to tell me more about what it's like to be a mediator. So here's your time to evaluate. Just do it in your head. Was it short? Was it personal? Was it impactful? Was it confident? And did it set up a good example for you? Okay, now we're going to give it your turn. So first, we're going to give you time. This is on your own. No going into breakout rooms, just simply working on your own. We're going to give you 4 minutes to just think about, who are you? What are you interested in? What is your background? And then if you're thinking, if you have an organization or a person in mind, you can go ahead and also add what you know about the person or the organization and what is your ask. Okay, so we're going to give you 4 minutes on your own to develop your first crack at a pitch. And here you go. Time has started now. Okay, so if everybody can come back, that was 4 minutes. And if you didn't have enough time, you can certainly continue working on it after the workshop. And now, in a minute, Jody, I first want to give them the directions. We're going to go into breakout rooms. And this is going to give you the opportunity, you're going to go into pairs, and it's going to give you the opportunity to practice your pitch. To a person, every one of my clients has said, practicing the pitch is critically important because it helps them get the awkwardness out of it. It helps them become more confident, and it helps the pitch flow smoothly. So we're going to give you the opportunity to pitch to your partner. Each person gives their pitch, and then after each person has had the opportunity to give their pitch, I want you to share with each other what went well. And you'll have 5 minutes to do this. And now, Jody, drum roll, is the time for people to go into breakout rooms.
Perfect. Okay, I'm opening up the rooms. Open up all rooms. Okay, and you will have 5 minutes. So it is at 11:19. I will close out the rooms. Please accept. Let's see. I'm gonna. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Sure, everyone at least has 2 people there. Okay. I'm just making sure that people are not alone in their rooms.
And Jody, a couple people have direct messaged me and saying they're gonna sit this one out. So
Okay.
some people may be choosing not to go into.
Okay, so that's why I'm moving people who don't have someone in their room. Okay. 1, 2. Okay.
There's one person that says they were alone in their breakout room, Jody.
Yeah, I'm trying to the problem is when people don't accept and I don't know. So that's why I'm moving people who are by themselves at this point, who are alone in their rooms.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going back now and just I just moved Michelle. She should be moving. I put her in, yeah, I moved her. Okay, hopefully she'll accept. And this person's by themselves. Okay. She's by herself. Okay. And what time let's see, I'm gonna close out the room. Okay.
Oh, Justin, Roberta got bumped out and she can't unmute herself. Can you help her, Justin?
Okay. Is she trying to get back in?
Yeah.
Oh, there she is. Hello.
Yeah, thank you. I'm in. I just couldn't unmute, so thank you.
Oh, okay, okay. I'm gonna close out the room.
Perfect.
I sent them a message. John, maybe for the next one, we'll do 3 in case it makes it harder than because.
I was thinking
Okay.
the same thing. For
Okay.
the next breakout, we can totally do 3 to make
Perfect.
that better. I was
Yeah,
thinking the same thing.
yeah, because just it's fine. People choose not to be in breakout rooms, but we just want to make sure no one's left by themselves.
That's a good plan.
Okay, we're down to 29 seconds, Roberta, and people will be automatically reappearing.
Awesome.
And everyone should be back. They all are
Oh.
back, Roberta.
Okay, welcome back, everyone, and congratulations. You have just done one of your first pitches. And now what we'd like you to do is just quickly write in chat what went well.
We know that there were a few of you who may have missed the opportunity to share with another person. So this is an exercise you can do on your own as well, but the practice is also really helpful, as Roberta's been saying.
Okay, feedback. Yes, absolutely. Good audience. Format to organize. Absolutely. Again, good feedback. Hearing other people with their pitch. Ran out of time. Yeah, I know. Sorry about that. Oh, feedback was great. Meeting the best people in this Zoom. Woohoo! That's something we cannot control. So it's so glad it worked out. Okay, hearing the other person. Kudos to Trudy. Emphasis on key words. Great feedback. Okay, so I think that this is your own testimonials to how important it is to practice and how important it is to get that feedback again, so that you can make an excellent first impression, which is what is one of the keys to having an outstanding pitch and success in job hunting. All right, so now we are concluding the stepping up. And I'm going to turn it over to John oh no, I'm turning it back to Barbara. So sorry.
Thank you. So thank you all for bearing with us. And we can already see that those of you who've been able to participate in the way that you have, the more you practice, the better you are, and the more you say out loud what you have to offer, the better off you will be. So now we want to take a little energy break because we've been working and sitting and talking. And so we want you to pay attention to your energy right now. How is your energy doing? We have 4 kinds of energy. We have physical energy, which is the amount of energy we have. our emotional energy, which is the quality of energy we have. Remember at the beginning, we asked you how you were feeling. Some of you were feeling a little more anxious or a little more overwhelmed. Some of you were feeling hopeful, some mixed. That's an emotional quality of your energy. Your mental energy is your focus. I have a watch that tells me to stand up every hour. And honestly, when that little thing, that little message comes on my phone and says, stand up, I'm like, have I been sitting for a whole hour moving? I can't believe it. So any of these little things will keep your energy going. The most important probably over time is your spiritual energy, which is the force of your energy. Now, this may not be your religious beliefs. It may be what nourishes your soul. Remember your purpose. Remember all these things. And so what I want you to focus on right now is what kind of energy do you focus on the most? I will tell you that I'm a tennis player and I know that I should drink water. This restores my physical energy. But for a long time, I was only thinking about water being hydration. And I know that it's important to give my body water because so much of our bodies are made up of water. So when I'm feeling tired, just drinking a glass of water honestly helps. So the emotional energy, the quality of your energy, several of you, when you talked about your coping skills, when you've gone through tough times, said something like, I connect with my friends, my family. That can help you restore your emotional energy. Your mental energy, focus, that can be helped by taking those little breaks, by going outside for a few minutes. Even a small break is helpful. Every hour you should move. Every hour and a half, you should take a break of 5 minutes or more. And that keeps you mentally focused. You know, when you're not focused, you're kind of scattered and all over the map. This can get in the way when you have things to do like interview or when you need to finish something. So just remember that these are little tips to restore your energy. So what kind of energy do you focus on the most? And what kind of energy would you maybe like to pay more attention to? Just jot down for yourself what you would like to do for yourself. It's a bit of a self-care thing. And now if you want to join me in just a little stretch, I like to do this so that I can get a little bit of energy going in my body, having listened to people talk. And I like to either swim or pretend. I actually pretend I'm flying sometimes. I love that feeling. So I'm telling you, you can just sit in your chair and energize yourself just like that. And if you've done that, you might just feel better already. So now, thank you for joining me in that. And thank you for paying attention to your energy. And now we'll go on to step out with John, and he's going to talk to you about making steady progress. John?
And Barbara, thank you so much for getting us a little bit more focused on our energies. I know we've been in this session for about an hour, and I think that's a great time to wake us up a little bit and move us. And Roberta, thank you for getting us moving forward with our pitch. And we really want to now take these pieces and think about how can we move forward? What is a framework that can support us as we are moving through this transition? Like many of you,
index, on Mars.
Donna, you're on mute now. Somebody muted you.
Apologies. There was an announcement over the speaker that I figured would just be more distracting. And so we wanted to talk about how to create a strong plan. And really what this plan is focusing on is how to help you feel confident and comfortable and grounded as you move forward. And the first part of that strong plan is focusing on your self-care. What is the mental, physical, emotional, and spiritual? What are those 4 elements of those energies that you need to focus on to help you feel like you have the confidence and grounding to be able to move forward with your career transition? The next component of the strong plan is how are you targeting your goals and your objectives for today, this week, or this month? What are priorities are you setting for
Attention
you
the consulate, attention
that
the
you
consulate.
need
This is Marine
to help
Security
move
Guard. Be
forward?
advised,
There must be another announcement
training
going.
at this time.
They
Please
just
resume all
completed the
normal
drill.
operations.
I
Thank you.
apologize. That was the Marine security guards letting us know the drill has now completed. That we were to ignore all notifications. All right. And so we're also being adjusting and flexible with our presentation today. And then the next part of our plan is the routine. Many of us, as we are transitioning from our federal employment and service and transitioning into a new career, and we're moving through the job search and career transition process, we have to develop what is the right routine for us? What is that schedule? What is it, how we will organize and schedule our days? I have some clients right now who are looking at, okay, I used to have this schedule, this schedule, this schedule, where my boss or my supervisor or the job required me to follow this schedule. And so now how am I structuring that today to focus on those priorities that I need? The next part of the strong plan is looking at what are the opportunities that are emerging that I see around me today? Are there opportunities for service, for connection, for skill building? What are those opportunities? Am I looking out and taking advantage of those opportunities as they emerge? The next component of the strong plan is how am I working to focus on nurturing in my relationships and strengthening my network? And this isn't just about professional network. This is really about those relationships in whether it be family, friends, faith communities, service communities. Who are those people around you that you can focus on reaching out to and connecting to strengthen those relationships as you move through this career transition? And the last part of the strong framework is how to gain skills and grow. And for example, as I have been working through this career transition, as I've been placed on admin leave, taken off admin leave, as I've moved through these structures and moving towards my RIF date, I've been trying to better understand what is my next step? What does that look like? And really, I've been trying to explore what it is to do consulting. So I'm looking at reaching out to colleagues and friends who have worked for other organizations, and they've given me a lot of good advice and examples of how to move into that space. And then one of them sent me an advertisement for a consultancy with UNICEF. And they said, hey, John, this would be a great opportunity for you. And so I look at it, I applied for it. And really, it helped me kind of learn and understand how to go through those processes, even applying for a consultancy. And I will acknowledge that it was on Sunday, just last Sunday, that I received the contract to sign and serve as a consultant. This will be my first time being a consultant. And so again, that was all because of that relationships of friends and colleagues who were understanding of my situation, who were talking to me about opportunities that were emerging that they saw that they thought would be a connection for me. And then me kind of going through the process of how do I fill out this step? UNICEF is an organization that I've never worked with before. I've worked with them as partners, but never as an employee. And so I really had to figure out their system, their trainings. And again, it was all a part of an opportunity of learning and gaining new skills as a result of those opportunities, those networks. And so I do want to ask for you, where you're at in your part of the career transition, what part is resonating with you? What would you like to focus on moving forward in this next week to help you feel more grounded and more prepared to move forward with your career transition? If you would just put that in the chat for us and help us understand where you are and want to focus on. focusing on what you want to do next. That is a great area to try to focus on and target. Dealing with the loss. What do I want to do? So giving yourself that time to process of what maybe you feel like is now being taken away or what's being gone, and then having to give yourself that time and space to be able to feel like you can move forward in the right mental space, in the right energies. I really appreciate how Barbara brought us into those energy spaces today. Focusing on sleeping, focusing on making on opportunities, sharing and resonating, focusing on your network, understanding and recognizing that loss of that 36-year career. And I would say celebrating the 36 years of service that you have provided to the American people. What's something that you can be proud of how you've served and how you brought services to the American people, not just the American people, wherever you were in whatever role, to help serve and really recognize those contributions you brought. I appreciate focusing on networking, having a plan, aligning those opportunities with purpose and values, how to use those skills and feel right. Thank you. How to work on this and how to work in privacy, how to push those things forward in a new way, focusing on stability. And look, I want to say, someone's talking about looking at an opportunity. How do you continue the networking that you're building in this section today, right? So again, looking for those opportunities. And so focus on what is important for you today and think of this strong framework as you move forward, as these priorities might shift and change as you move through your career transition. And as we are talking about moving through your career transition, we recognize a lot has changed. If I won't say many of you might have been like me, but I've worked at USAID for 15 years. And if you looked at my LinkedIn profile, it had my name and 15 years at USAID. I had not done a lot of investment in these spaces. And a lot's changed since I looked for a job and was 15 years ago. And one of those things that's really changed is AI. AI is now a major part of the system and process. And I'm just wondering if people in their reactions button on the bottom, if they can, let me know, is AI a new thing for you with your job search? Give me a thumbs up, a laughing emoji, a crying emoji, ow. What is AI for you in this new job search? Where are you at with this? A thumbs up. I'm seeing kind of I love the face emojis, the wow, the perplex, the big eyes kind of, yes. The angry emoji. But AI is my new best friend. Okay. Help you take your 12-page resume down to 2. You mistrust it for AI reasons. There are other kinds, right? We want to be careful what we're putting there, but it can be a tool and a resource. And so maybe it feels overwhelming. And so AI can be a way to help you think about navigating in a new way. And so AI can give you a lot of ways to think about focusing on your career search. And it can help you identify strengths, your interests. It can help bring clarity. It can also help you optimize your resume or LinkedIn. If you compile and bring in your performance evaluations, your awards, your experiences, it can help you pull out trends and themes. It can also help you identify keywords. It can also help you translate your public service language into private sector. It can also help you prepare for interviews, helping you draft important bullets for your resume, your cover letter, your LinkedIn profile. It can also give you advice if you're, hey, I'm working in this new area. I'm trying to think about development and growth. It can give you ideas. Have you looked at these types of areas or these types of job openings or careers? It can also help you as you think about building your personal brand. What resonates with you? And it can give you ideas to think about and expose you to things that maybe you were not thinking about, and then help you build that brand as you're thinking about, how do I build this into LinkedIn? How do I build this in to my resume, and so forth. But I would just like to say, as we move forward, that AI is a tool. And as such, it can be a resource to support you. There's a lot of different AIs platforms out there. Some are free, some are pay for services. It's really just becoming comfortable with it and how it works best for you, whether it be ChatGPT, Perplexity, Get Essential. I've also seen Notebook LM, Gemini. There's a lot of different options out there. And so think about what is the right tool for you and how you use it. And as we think about shifting to this tool for the resume building, how can we use AI for our resume building? I've seen a lot in the chat. There's different ways that you can use it. It can help you, give you ideas. It can also help you translate the language that you're used to using. It can help you identify issues with the acronyms that you might be using that might not be known to people outside of your organization. And it can also just help you identify certain roles and experience and achievements that might be relevant as you move forward. Now, Jody and the JCA team has actually done a whole series on resumes and AIs, and it's available on their website. They're also doing another series on how to really leverage LinkedIn, that social media platform which uses applicant tracking systems and this technology. I would really encourage you to look at those tools and resources on the website, as well as those upcoming classes, and enroll and register for those, where they'll take you into a much deeper dive, and as well as look at those resources and tools that are available online. And as we now transition, one way that it can help you, but also this is where taking it into your experience. As we transition into developing your resume, one of the hardest things that my clients that I've been working with on their career transition is, how do they identify and highlight their achievements? And I believe, William, you even raised this at the very beginning of the call, of how do you quantify your achievements that you've been doing as a public servant in your agency, especially if your data is missing and so forth. But one thing that really helps you to be effective in highlighting these skills on your resume is looking and using a SAR model, which focuses on the situation. What was the problem or the challenge that you were trying to address? Why this matters? And then thinking through the actions of what you did, and then thinking about what were those results? And what were those impact? What was the difference you made? What changed as a result of your engagement? And so thinking through this, I wanted to share an example that we did in my agency. We were trying to address shortages of budgets. And we did use these SAR models as a foreign service officer at USAID. So this could be familiar to you. And we were trying to address declining in budgets, how to improve performance, and how to increase training that was fragmented across our 11 regional offices. We conducted a review, we identified internal funding, we designed a new on-the-job training program, and then we piloted it. And we piloted it with 110 staff. So this was the model that I kind of fleshed out for myself. And then I consolidated this into one bullet that I wanted to put on my resume. And I started with an action verb of developed, on-the-job training program, with my result of reducing training costs by $60,000 and improving job performance by 10% for our international and local staff. And so, can I ask you, when you read the consolidated bullet, does it meet that requirement of helping you to see my result and my achievement clearly? What stands out to you as you think about the consolidated bullet? Focus on results, shows impact. Now I have a question. I work for USAID. Do you need to have worked at USAID to understand my bullet? Exactly, it's not USAID centric. And so now we would like you to take a turn in developing a bullet. And we want you to start off by thinking about what is one result or achievement that you are really proud of? And if you're thinking, I don't know what my achievements are, think about one thing that you really are proud of that you did in your position, in your role, and write that out. What did you do to help make that happen? What did you do to help ensure that that could come to pass? And then lastly, write down the situation. And we want to give you about, I think we're running a little bit behind schedule, so I'm going to say 3 minutes. And then after you've had about 3 minutes to write down that achievement or the thing that you're really proud of and some of those actions, we're going to put you into breakout groups, not to give a fully fleshed out bullet, but to then talk through what were those results and maybe share if you're struggling with identifying that accomplishment, asking your fellow breakout partners to kind of help you flesh that out. So we'll then take about 3 minutes right now, and then we'll go into 5 minutes of the breakout room. And I'm going to put myself on mute to let you think through that accomplishment and those actions you did to work towards that accomplishment.
And let's remember that we want to put them in trios now, in threes, so everybody will have at least one partner.
Yes, it's already set, so we're just waiting for them to.
Wonderful. Thank you.
All right. I hope you have an action or an accomplishment that you'd like to share and help flesh out, and think about how to quantify that, how to share that impact in one of your bullets. And if we can go into our breakout rooms, and we'll send you there for 5 minutes to share amongst your group to help you flesh that out, to really flesh out those actions and results and impact that you've been able to achieve through your service.
If everyone can accept their rooms, and you will have 5 minutes. It is 11:48, so at 11:53.
Jody, someone's asking if you can push the button again because they they've hit the wrong button and they are trying to rejoin the room.
Who can that person just give me their first name so I know?
Eileen?
Oh, Eileen, sure. Okay. So Eileen, just don't accept this yet, because then I have to. So I'll tell you when. Okay, now accept, Eileen. You can now join your room. Great, she did. Perfect. Perfect, perfect. Okay, so I'm gonna move Liz. Okay. So she can leave us. Good. For everyone, making sure no one is alone.
As we have been doing the career transition workshop for the USAID staff, as we do breakout rooms, Jody, that is one of the hardest part of the workshops. When we think we've got it all balanced out and then people don't go to that one, or they're not able to, and you got one person alone and one group with like 5 people instead of the 4.
Yeah,
So what you're doing is
I don't want to. I want to
appreciate
make.
it.
I mean, because when I do them for my workshop, I know everyone is there. They're all there, and so it's easier. But you don't want anyone to be by themselves. So I'm just making sure that no one is alone, which it looks like I think everyone.
The wonderful thing about these exercises and these processes is you can practice them on your own. And some people may not feel equipped enough to actually practice right now, but the process is so useful. You can take it and think about it in your own time. Some of us just need a little more time to adjust to these new
Sure.
Think about it.
And John, congratulations on your
That is, they have set a goal for themselves to connect with 2 people. Like when they go somewhere like to church coffee hour or at their kids' soccer practice, they give themselves a goal. And for some reason, as introverts, they are self-identified introverts. Having a goal allows them to get outside of themselves and push themselves to do something. So I'm not saying it's the magic bullet. I just wanted to share one technique that some of my clients are finding successful.
right.
John,
So thank you.
sorry to step into your.
No, but thank you, Loretta, for sharing that, because that is not most of us are introverts, and so we always have that notion of networking for introverts. It can happen, and it can happen in an organic way. So thank you, Roberta, for bringing that up.
And apologies that some maybe have technical problems in their breakout group, but we hope that you were able to use that time to help you flesh out and better realize that things that you may not have been considering as achievements or results, that you're able to now identify those and really now take those and move forward by developing your results, your actions, and developing that SAR model. And I do hope that was a helpful exercise. Please go ahead and give me a thumbs up or, your impression in the chat. And while you're putting those impressions in the chat, I'm going to hand it over to Barbara to help us as we transition and close out our session.
Thanks, John. I think that's wonderful. And one thing that came up the last time that I recall someone asking about, if we don't have data, we don't have numbers, we don't have outcomes that we can quantify that way, how else might we speak about it? And I remember, Roberta, you gave a great example. I won't put you on the spot, but you said using words like significant changes were made, or the outcome was the first time we ever balanced the budget, or finished our project on time and within budget. There are ways around actual numbers where you can indicate a significant outcome. So don't be daunted by having to have numbers or trying to, for heaven's sake, don't make them up unless you're doing an example or something, but don't make them up if you want it to be real in terms of what you've been able to accomplish. So thank you all for being here and for doing this. We're going to just give you a few more things to focus on here. One of them is something Margaret Mead said many years ago. We're continually faced with great opportunities, which are brilliantly disguised as unsolvable problems. But within the challenges in front of us, we need to figure out what's the opportunity in that challenge. So we also want to say that John and Roberta and I are happy to connect with you for any questions you may have. And remember, we will stay for a few minutes afterwards to chat with you if you have something that's come up for you. If you want to take a picture of the URL that we are showing you here, the resources that go with this workshop, these will also be posted on the JCA website. So you can also find them there. And I believe Jody will send them out with a thank you email for showing up along with the slides. And those slides will also be posted on the JCA website. And we want to just review a few free programs and resources that are coming up at JCA in the near future. The first one, if I can put it up here, our Riffs to Ready, a Doge's Survivor's Guide to Interviewing. This is really a chance to practice and shape your interviewing skills. It's a 2-hour workshop for those of you who are 50 and older. That will take place on Thursday, the 12th from 10:30 to noon. You can find
It will be 10, it's 10, Barbara, but that's okay. 10 to noon.
I'm sorry?
It's 10 to noon.
Oh, 10 to noon. Okay.
That's okay.
All right. So that's one. And then there's the Career Gateway program. Now I understand that the June program is full, right, Jody?
That is correct. But we are accepting, we will start with 6 new session dates starting in the fall in September 2025. And so if people are interested, we're taking people and putting them on the wait list. If nothing moves off of that, then we will reach out to you in mid-July when we have the new session dates, and you can register for the next available Career Gateway session.
And then there's an expo coming up on the 17th. And this is age-friendly employers who have opportunities, and you get a chance to interact with them as well as learn some more things. So I'm going to quickly move on here, because what I would love to see in the next minute or two is please write in the chat what your principal takeaway from this session is. What stood out for you? What are you taking away from this session that made an impression on you that you want to share with everybody? And I'm going to pull up the chat here so we can see. Oh my Lord, we have 24 new messages. Thank you so much. It was helpful. Specifically, positive concrete steps, stay positive, take the time to be introspective and focus on achievements. I love that. Being reflective is so helpful. I need to revise my CV. Yes, probably you're not alone in that. The pitch, they love that. Legacy makers in the field of government. Yes, thank you for reminding us. Sharing experiences, networking skills should not only be for professionals. Yes, I once got a job by going to a party. I didn't know that I would get a job by going to the party, but I talked to somebody who was seated next to me at the luncheon, and I got a job because of that. You never know. Developing my pitch. Will we get emails of participants? I don't know that we can share the participant email because we don't have everybody's permission to do that. But we appreciate the fact that we've helped you create a community and know that you're not alone. We're connected with other job seekers is so important. I feel like I can turn resume bullet points into SAR statements. Excellent. This was amazing. Thank you. Need to take some time for reflection and using SAR. Yes, we hope that you will take these skills and these suggestions and help you going forward. Okay, thank you. It's been very helpful. Well, we appreciate the time that you've taken this morning to help yourself, to grow, and to take advantage of the opportunities that are awaiting out you. And I would just want to take a moment to say thank you to all of you for the ways in which you have already contributed to this world, to making it a better place. And we know that many of you have the challenge of finding a new career opportunity that you may not have expected, you likely did not expect. This is something to remember, that you all are resilient. The universe is open to you. Stay open to the universe and see what there is out there for all of you. So on behalf of my co-facilitators, John and Roberta, we want to thank you for being with us. And we will stay for a few minutes afterward so that we can chat with you all. I'm going to take this down now. Thank you all for being here.
Thank you. If people have questions, should they, Justin, do you want them to open up do you want them to open up the mics, or how do you want them, how do you?
Open up the mic, or people can certainly put it in chat if they want. But if anybody would like to just raise your hand and ask a question, we would be happy to.
I've opened the microphone, so if somebody wants to ask a question.